YouTube, welcome back to another video. It is your boy Zay, and I'm back with another video, guys. Now today, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys the best gaming control settings you guys could possibly be using right now on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. But before we do get into this video, if you guys haven't been new to my channel, you haven't already done so already, do me a huge favor and drop a sub down below. Go ahead and smash the sub button for me. We're on the road to 1K, so you guys can help me get there before the end of this year if it's possible. Also, with these settings, if you guys happen to like these settings and they work for you, leave a comment down below and also smash the like button for me. All right, guys. But without further ado, I'm not gonna hold you guys up any longer. Let's get straight into these settings for you guys today. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, what are the best settings that I could possibly be using right now on console using a controller to better my skills when playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? Well, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys that settings today, the specific settings that I use each and every single game to help me have the best time and actually do decently well in each of my games. So I'm gonna give you guys that in just a minute. It's gonna make it seem like you guys have no recoil at some point. It's gonna feel real smooth when you're shooting these guns and basically getting out around the map and playing with your gameplay is gonna feel really smooth and great. So I'm gonna get straight into those settings for you guys today. So here we go, let's get straight into it. Alright guys, for the very first thing you guys want to go ahead and do is go over to the settings toolbar and go straight to controller. As you can see, we have controller option, keyboard and mouse, graphics, audio, interface, and account and network. The first thing we're going to go to is controller. Now typically it took me about, I want to say about maybe an hour to hour and a half to figure out and played around with the settings just to find out what works best for each and every playstyle, and it came to like an average of which works in general that can work for everyone. Okay, so for the very first thing, as you guys can see right now, we're going to go straight down to inputs, and when we go down to inputs, we're going to go straight off and start off by going straight to controller vibration. You want to go ahead and turn controller vibration completely off. Now if you guys do happen to like to play with the vibration on, I don't know how you guys do it. For me, I prefer to play with it off, because when it's on and you're shooting, you know what I'm saying, while you're shooting and you're taking incoming damage from other players shooting at you, you feel your controller vibrate and it kind of throws off your accuracy and recoil when shooting your gun overall in the game. So that's why I genuinely like to turn it off. It makes the gun feel a lot smoother when you're shooting at it, and it makes it also seem like your recoil and accuracy is under control. Next thing we're going to go to, guys, is aiming. We're going to go straight down to aiming. As you see, this section here is called aiming. Now, typically I like to play on low sensitivity. For my guys who like to play in higher sensitivity, this settings can also work for you as well, but you have to play around with one specific thing, which is the ADS sensitivity multiplier. We're going to get into that in just a sec. The first things first, typically I say you recommend you stay between 1 and 5. I mean, don't play on 1, obviously. Who wants to play on 1, right? So typically I stay at, for horizontal, I like to stay between 4 and 5 and 6. And then for vertical, I play at 5, 6, or 7. You always want to keep your vertical a little bit higher or balance equivalent to your horizontal. So either keep it higher or equivalent. Right now I have it equivalent, but sometimes I'll switch to move the vertical stick sensitivity up to 6. Next, we're going to go down to ADS sensitivity multiplier. As you guys can see, this one I have it set to a 0.75. Normally I'll have it as a 0.70 or a 0.75. Now, these are for people who are using my ARs, my subs, my shotguns, and you technically like to aim in, you know what I'm saying, and control yourself while you're aiming in. For my snipers who like to be, you know, quick scope, drag scope, you want to keep this at least at a 0.1. That's a typical range for snipers. It's basically so you have the drag scope, and while you're aiming in, you can still move faster while aiming in. What this basically does is slows it down so that when you're aiming in with a regular AR or a sub, while you're aiming in, looking side to side, you're going to look a little bit slower side to side. That way you can control the way you shoot your gun. You want to be able to control that analog stick as best as possible while you're shooting that gun in order for that recoil to feel as smooth as possible. Next, guys, we're going to skip on down to gameplay. And as you guys can see, I have typical things set up for you guys here. So obviously you want to make sure aim down sight behavior is on a hold. You know what I'm saying? Don't have it on toggle, keep it on hold. Automatic sprint, make sure this is turned off, because being by the fact that footsteps are so loud, guys, this is a key thing you guys need to make sure you have set. Make sure automatic sprint is completely turned off. I promise you, if you have it on, you'll be sprinting all the time and you will always die, because people are listening. People are using their headphones and they are listening. They're sound hoarding the hell out of you to make sure they hear where you're at and hear where you're coming from, so they can take you out as quickly as possible without you even knowing that they're there. They'll be sitting in the corner and wait for you to come around the corner because they know that you're coming, because they hear your footsteps. So make sure it's just turned off. Last thing we're going to go down to on this section is going to be interact/reload behavior. Make sure this is set to prioritize reload. Okay, you want to make sure this is set to prioritize reload, because if it comes to you standing by a door or something that's on the floor, you want to pick it up, it is set that you automatically start off by reloading first when you interact with X. Now, you guys, if you're on controller, obviously you're going to hit RB. As you can see, we're going to switch over to controller advanced. We're going to switch over here. And the very first thing we have is aim assist. Of course, you want to make sure aim assist is always turned on. Make sure it's always turned on. And we're going to go straight down to aim assist type. Now, for really right now, being the fact the game is fresh, we're going to put on focusing. Focusing is the key thing to have on, okay? It helps you be able to lock onto your enemies a lot better and a lot smoother when you come around corners, when you're jumping, and basically when you're aiming on your sight in general. You're going to be able to lock onto your targets and be able to take them out as quickly as possible thanks to focusing right here. Precision, I usually switch to precision when I know I'm getting better with my aim and my accuracy is a lot better. Basically, off of my accuracy players, accurate players, put precision on if you are very accurate overall in general, and you don't have to worry about, you know, being new to analog aiming, or if you're not fresh for the game, you know, you're not just starting out playing the game. All my new players who are just starting to play the game, put on focusing. All my veteran players who are pretty much good at the aiming and know how to control the aim, put on precision. They work for both, either or. I mean, I like to play around with both of them because I'm good with either or, but right now I'm on focusing just so I can show you guys what is best for you to use right now. Next, we're going to go down to aiming. Now you see we have the first thing is aim response curve type. Make sure you have it checked to dynamic. Dynamic is basically so that you are able to control your analog stick in the S-curve mapping. That way, if you have it on linear, you'll see when you aim in and you're trying to move your right analog stick to lock onto targets, you'll see you only have it as linear line, meaning X and Y axles. So you're able to look up and down and left and right. That's it. You can't go outside of those axes. If you have it on dynamic, you can make S curves. You could go diagonal, you know, diagonal left, diagonal right, up, down, left, and right. You want to make sure dynamic is on. That way you have full control and response to your analog stick. Here is ADS sensitivity multiplier for focusing. We're going to change this to a 0.75. Like I said before, it's the same thing from control in the previous section where they had aim sensitivity multiplier. Make sure the 0.75, you want to make sure the same exact one as what you have on the regular controller sensitivity. That way it matches up and pairs up perfectly. Next, guys, we're going to go straight down to input dead zone. Now, this is a key thing to help for my analog players. You will see that this helps up a lot because depending on what you have these dead zones set to will determine how well you have control over your analog sticks and controlling your recoil of your gun. So for the left and right stick minimum, we have a 0.03. For the left and right stick max, we have a 0.85. And last but not least, for your left and right trigger, basically feel like you have a trigger here, like you have a trigger stopper, or if you have a scuff controller, this helps if you don't have a scuff controller. For those who don't use one, you know what I'm saying, you can use this as a substitution, but I have for left and right trigger, we have a 0.05. So make sure you have these settings set. It's going to help you with your analog to be able to control. I promise you it works. I asked my boys to try these settings out as well. They work. They say they love them, and it actually, the way they were playing was completely different when they start playing before they put these settings on. So I do recommend you guys put these settings on for these dead zones. Next, guys, next section we're going to go into is graphics. I'm going to click graphics over here by hitting LT and then pressing A. And we're going to go straight into the graphics now. Key things that you guys want to have, make sure you have turned off, is world and weapon motion blur. What this does is that when you're using your gun and you're not aimed in, or if you are aimed in and you're looking left and right, you will see a blur if these are turned on from your peripheral views. You do not want this. You do not want your gun looking blurry. You do not want your background of your view when you're in the match to look blurry, because then you won't be able to see enemies in the distance, and it actually sucks because then you're getting shot at and you're wondering when you're getting shot at, but you don't know because you have the world motion blur on. You will not see a thing. So make sure you turn both of these off. Then we're going to go down to field of view, guys. As you guys know, in the previous Modern Warfare 2019, we did not have a field of view on console, so thank the Lord that they finally gave it to us on Modern Warfare 2 for 2022. So yes, guys, I do play on the full max 120 FOV. It's the best thing to play on because you can see your full screen and utilize the full screen to its max. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and hit X to get the drop bar menu, and as you can see, ADS field of view is affected. What this does is basically so that when you aim in at your gun is not looking like how it regularly looks without FOV on. It will look as if you have a distance on your gun, which helps very much. It makes it have a low magnification level, so basically helping you to be a better accurate and even see outside of your peripheral view while aimed in on your sight. Last but not least, guys, we're gonna go ahead and go straight to audio. Hit LT again and go down to audio, hit A. We're gonna come here now, guys. I'm using headphones. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are using headphones. Headphones are like the key thing in this game. It was in Modern Warfare 2019 and it's the same in Modern Warfare 2022. Okay, so first things first, for audio mix, we're gonna go ahead and turn on headphone bass boost. Yes, this is the best thing to put on because it's going to help you boost those bass so you'll be able to hear footsteps as loud as possible and be able to recognize which is what as far as where they're coming from and which direction you have to look for when the footsteps are coming from. We're going to go ahead and turn master volume all the way up to 100. We're going to turn volume down to music volume down to 50 or lower. If you guys don't want to hear the music at all, you can turn it off. Same with dialogue. If you want to turn it off, you can turn it off as well. I keep mine at 50 so I can be able to hear the call outs from from teammate players. The main thing you want to have up right now is effects volume. This is what is going to help you hear your footsteps, your in-game effects over on general. People who dive in, slide and all that. You'll be able to hear all that based on your effect volume being turned all the way up. Hit marker volume, I have it set to 50. I love the way the hit marker sounds, especially when you're getting headshots. You guys might like it too, so I recommend keep it on 50. Don't turn it all the way off, so you know when you're hitting your shots. Okay, guys, that's gonna do it here for these settings. Let me know what you guys think about these settings down below in the comments. If you guys happen to like these settings, you think they work, if you have used them and you feel like it works best for you versus what you were already playing on, let me know in the comments down below. I really want to see some feedback on this video and on these settings because I found out they work for me. I gave it to 2 of my friends. They told me they work. I gave it to another one of my friends as well. He said it worked as well. So I could be bugging. They could be bugging. They could be trying to hype me up. I hope not. But like I said, show some support by dropping a like and commenting to let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy Zay. Until next time, peace out.